Hey there, guys. Welcome to this edition of our monthly workouts. Training some back here. Starting off with probably my most favorite exercise for back, other than deadlifts, rack pulls, obviously. But you can see I'm using, and I know I'm going to get questions on this. You see I'm using some pretty fancy handles there, and these are the Rotate handles that I got from Prime Fitness USA. So these guys are doing some pretty cool bits and pieces of mechanics and machinery that we can use. They obviously also create and develop physical gym machines as well, and they're sort of revolutionizing the way that we train at the moment, which is really cool. So I bought these handles, and you can go check them out on Instagram. Go over their page. They weren't cheap, there's no doubt about that, but they're well worth it. Essentially, this first movement here, it's just a take on a Nautilus pull down, which is actually a machine, and it's almost, I guess it is isolateral the way the machine's set up. The plates are actually in front of you, so where you can see the plates here that we're using, you actually do them with, it's plate loaded, not pin loaded. You may have seen that machine before. So the weights are in front of you. We're sort of sitting back a little bit because the handles come down in this sort of direction on that machine, so we're trying to replicate that as best as we can, and the focus here is really just driving those elbows down. Remember, trying to drive that forearm straight down, or that humerus straight down to that sort of side pocket. Lana here bounces a little bit out of the top, so we're still working on perfecting that, but that's okay. Ideally, we want that to be nice and smooth, sort of come to a stop at the top, slowly start to pull back down. It's just a great variation on a lat pull down. So if you guys don't have the Rotate handles, obviously just use normal, the gym handles that you would have in there, and you can do that single-sided, single arm, but we just decided to change it up today and do them together. This exercise here, took this from Hypertrophy Coach, or Joe Bennett on Instagram, which he took from Ben Pakulski when he was at the MI40 gym. So BPAC came up with this exercise. Basically, Joe kind of called it like a step back row. So it's done on I think it's just called the DY row machine, the plate loaded machine there. I always had problems myself when I was doing this exercise sitting, and I just didn't feel like I was getting a great contraction. I felt like I was getting a lot of sort of trap and upper back dominance. So this is ideal for the lats, and I'm just driving my elbow hard into my side there. Imagine wrapping it around behind my back, trying to touch the middle of my spine. The contraction that you're going to get on this is huge. It's only a short range of motion here. The idea is we don't want to twist the torso or twist the hips. So you see my hips very locked in, not moving at all, just getting a lat stretch to where I feel comfortable, and then driving elbow back. The profile is so much better for the lat, especially those horizontal running fibers of the lat, as opposed to sitting. So give this one a go if you can. It does take a little while to set up, and you'll see the difference here between myself and Lana. Normally, she's probably only done this 2 or 3 times, this exercise, a little bit of swing and movement. It's not an easy exercise to perfect. The idea is that that opposite arm is pushing hard into what normally would be the chest support. The back foot, the forefoot, we want to just brace as hard as we can. So I'm not getting any sort of rotation or twisting at the hips or even at the spine. If you feel this properly in that, especially that sort of like mid to lower lat region, and you're really trying to drive the elbow close to the body, so don't let the elbow flare out, because the handle, the way the machine works is it will sort of direct out, so you need to drive your elbow closer towards your body. You'll get a much better contraction on that lat here. And just the way we structure our back workout, something to think about is normally if you can think about doing one sort of pull down motion or movement and then one rowing movement. So we did 6 working sets on each of those two movements. Obviously, we're biasing lats here and not upper back. And then normally I program for my clients, or I finish with just sort of either a mechanical drop set or a metabolic, superset, drop set, giant set, whatever it might be. Just get the heart rate up. And this one here I took again from a guy called Bryce Baum, who also used to be at MI40 Gym, gone off to do his own thing. He had a slightly different machine, but this is your plate loaded, your pin loaded row. What you want to do for the first part is drop the seat right down, get a full stretch on those lats. So we're working those lats in a fully stretched position. And it's only a short range of motion, driving elbows down before pushing the seat not all the way up. But now what we want to do is try to bias the lats in that contracted position or shortened position. So it allows you to get a lot more work done. So even here, I think the last set I was able to get to 61 kgs. There's no way that I would be able to do 61 kilos for, say, 10 normal reps if I was using the full range of motion. So breaking it up, which is what we deem as a mechanical drop set, is that in a mechanical drop set we don't need to change the weight, we just slightly change the range of motion in the movement. So you can see here I'm leaning, I've got my bum pushed all the way back, about a 45-degree angle, elbows driving down and close to my body again. So the lats are in a fully stretched position here. And it doesn't look like much, I know that, but when you put these two together by the end of it, it really is a killer sort of way to finish your back. Again, do 4, 5, 6 sets. We try to keep the rest fairly minimal in this last set, so you get a bit of sweat on, get the heart rate up a little bit. And then here you go, the last little bit. Just find where you feel most comfortable. Try not to get too much trap involvement. Again, just squeezing as best we can. Now, even though the elbows are flared out here, I'm actually driving them as down and close to my body as I can, physically trying to squeeze in. So just thinking about the way that you contract a muscle or do a movement makes a hell of a lot of a difference in the outcome of that exercise or movement. So that's our back workout for this month. As we said, the way we program is we do one sort of pull down motion, one row motion, finish with either a mechanical drop set or metabolic drop set, something like that, just to get the heart rate up, chase that pump, I guess, at the end, which everyone loves to get. And essentially that's your back workout done. So we were able to hit in just 3 movements, 16 working sets, which is ideal for muscle hypertrophy anyway. So it might not look like a lot, but we're still hitting all the main key principles for hypertrophy. So give that one a crack. Questions or anything that you want, guys, obviously, send them through to me and we'll get them answered for you. But we'll see you next month with another workout. Thanks.